From King to a God by Conway the Machine. Conway has a reputation for being the strongest spitter on Griselda. With the respect of most notable rappers, can Conway cement himself amongst the greats? How do we feel about it? Here's an honest review of From King to a God by Conway the Machine.
Conway the Machine, man. From King to a God. Y'all gotta excuse the bios. This week I was damn near dead when I wrote these. Nah, I'm not lying. I was falling asleep while I was writing these. Conway the Machine, From King to a God, man. You know who Conway the Machine is. How you feel about this album artwork?
Thought it was pretty cool. Kind of interesting use of a crown, to make it for the font and everything like that. But other than that, it was cool.
Yeah, I think that is actually really dope. I love the little piece and like the extra stuff they put on the left side of the whole thing. But yeah, the crown being the letters, I think that was super dope. That was really creative, and kudos to whoever thought of that. The flow of this project, man, look, I think Conway gave you a good mix, a good balance of music here. I mean, it's definitely balanced more on the hard side, but it's still a balance of some hard records, some conscious records, just talking about personal issues. So you definitely did get like a nice round table of things, and wasn't just like a one size fits all meal for the whole project.
I agree. He dropped, gems here and there, but most of it is for the, the nitty and gritty hardcore fan base. So yeah.
Yeah. The only thing I was thrown off of is on the skits. It says Shaw. Is that Shaw Money XL? I couldn't figure that out.
I'm not sure.
Either way, from King, when that joint came on, I was just like, yo. And he started off with like a heavy like double entendre that had me just like, this is how we starting off, huh? Okay. He took you on a ride through that whole song, straight destroyed it, and then ended it with an NWO skit.
This guy.
For any wrestling fan, like, that's the one thing I love about Griselda. They always use wrestling skits. So I know if we hung out, we got a lot to talk about. So shout out to the use of the wrestling skits. Fear of God featuring Dej Loaf. First of all, he went off on this record, and I love the addition of Dej Loaf's voice on the hook. Yeah. She's starting to become like one of these really good hook artists. I don't know if she's up there with Nate Dogg yet, but she's definitely heading in that trajectory if she continues to keep doing solid and really good, hooks. Lemon featuring Method Man, fire. That joint, first of all, them going back and forth was amazing. Not back and forth, but Conway's voice was crazy. Method Man's voice was crazy. Method Man sounds better than he's ever sounded, ever to me. I'm just like, I don't know what the hell happened. It seems like he took a break from rapping and then just came back on a vengeance. Shout out to him for that. Doing Damani, I just love the change up and the way the whole change up with the beat happened, and even like the change of the flow. Juvenile Hell, it was actually really good to hear Lloyd Banks and Havoc rapping on something. Like it's been a while.
It was different.
Yeah, it's definitely been a while. Frontline, I love the fact that he decided to talk about what's going on in the world, and like one of the main things that he said that really had me thinking is, he was saying like, how would he feel if that was his son that any of this stuff happened to? And he'd probably run up in the police station and start shooting off. Like, I mean, I don't know if the police officers are thinking about things like this when they're going through these situations, but it's like they have parents and family members, So Seen Everything But Jesus featuring Freddie Gibbs. I think this might be my favorite song on the project.
Really?
Yeah, him and Freddie Gibbs just straight went off on this. I absolutely love this. Spur 3 featuring Benny the Butcher and West Side Guns. West Side is growing on me a tiny bit, just a tiny bit. It's like I'm starting to understand what he's doing. He's on that Billy Blast Fly shit. That's not really my style, but I thought he was serviceable on this song. But Benny the Butcher and Conway straight destroyed it. I feel like Nothing Less or Forever Dropping Tears could have ended this project. They're really like strong, introspective records that give you a different vibe. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Fear of God is really, really dope, just because what you said. Dej Loaf just has this essence on there that just makes it a really, really dope sounding song, and he went off on it. Lemon, man, I was just like, okay, I'm loving what both of them brought, but Method Man killed it. Frontlines, I really love the subject matter. Seen Everything But Jesus. I love Freddie Gibbs on there. He murked it, but I have one issue about that song. Spur 3, I'm with you. I don't know if Westside is growing on me though, but Benny and Conway killed it. And I'm all with you on Forever Dropping Tears. I felt like that should have ended the album. I mean, Jesus Christ was cool and Nothing Less was great as well, but I would have been fine if it ended at Forever Dropping Tears.
Lowlights, man. Look, I got a couple. Enza featuring Armani Caesar. She did not sound like a dope rapper to me. Maybe I need to hear more, but that verse right there to me was somewhat of a letdown. And I'm still a little bit down on the production. Like, I know it's like Griselda's sound and their style, but the dreary vibe is just it's just slightly draining. And I feel like Conway does a good enough job of keeping me interested with some of the concept and themes that he goes over in the songs and everything. Like for instance on the Don Damani, where he's got the skit from Juice in there. Mm-hmm. You know, I just thought that was hilarious because I was just like, I knew as soon as he said, you know, why you get the old together? He's like, because I already got it. And then the fact that he did the hook for it on the next song. Like, I like stuff like that. I don't know if you guys remember, Game had a song not too long ago where he had sampled the Boys in the Hood thing and used Ricky, like Ice Cube screaming Ricky is a part of the record. And
I think I remember that.
So I like stuff like that where people find moments like that. Like, hell, if they would have had a song where they used the NWO skit as part of the record, that would have definitely had me going. But yeah, I like what they did for the most part. But those couple of things is kind of just a letdown for me.
You hit it on the nail with the production. It is draining to the point where, in my opinion, it makes me tune out too easily. Because, like, you know, first listen, I'm just like, it's cool, but I'm not really into it because, you know, for me, production is everything to get into it. And I had, you know, replay it again just to focus on his lyrics and everything and like that. So the production for me just kind of took me out of it at times, so where I wasn't like staying on focus and staying on task. Seeing Everything But Jesus, I don't like the way he started the song. The song had to build up for me, like the whole off-key singing and that I hate when songs sound like that.
I thought it was a nice change up for the project though.
But it just I wasn't feeling it until they came in rapping, you know. But that's about it. But the production is the heavy key for me because it kind of hard for me to stay tuned into the project.
Final thoughts, man. Look, I think Conway actually proved a lot on this project to me. He didn't have to prove anything to me, but I've been kind of holding out on listening to a lot of things from Griselda. I will admit that I've known Conway was dope. I've known Benny the Butcher was dope. I just didn't really mess with Westside Guns. I didn't know they were all related. That was news to me. But at the same time, I like what he did with this project. I like the features except for one. And I think he did a really good job with this project. And he's got another project apparently already lined up. So I'm just curious to see what he does from here. And I just hope at some point Griselda could find a way to add a little bit of light into their music, just a little bit. It's just a little on the dark end, but it's their sound, so it's kind of hard to imagine it.
Yeah, for myself, I'm still here with the whole Griselda movement and everything like that. I mean, I feel like at times I see the spark of, you know, the lyricalness and everything here and there and there. For the most part, maybe it's just not all for me, but I do appreciate like the little subtle things of his rapping ability and everything like that. But you know, for the most part, I thought it was decent.
Final grade, man. Look, I'm gonna give Conway the Machine a check. I think this is a really dope record all across the board. I don't know how often I actually come back to it, but I can tell you if you came up to me and said, "How's the Conway the Machine?" I can tell you that dude is nice and the album is actually really good.
I'm going to give it a dash only because I don't know how much more I would come back to it. But at the same time, you know, I just think it's cool. But that's just my taste and everything like that. But I still think he's a good rapper.